Welcome back to the Ty Jeremy Hanger. Today I want to talk to you about $7 G.I. Joe classified figures, but not just any G.I. Joe classified figure. This is not Cobra Commander. This is not the newest wave that's lingering. These are the coveted Cobra Island figures, and they're going for $7 over the weekend. Now they're probably back to normal price of $14 in massive abundance. Now, I ate my words because I did make a prediction that they'd show up at the discounters. And the discounters I thought would be something more along the lines of Big Lots, Ollie's, Ross, TJ Maxx, and those kinds of retailers. But it turns out they're going even a step lower. They're showing up at a bargain hunt. I don't have any around here, so I hope this is the correct logo. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about these cheap Joes, where to find them, and if you're near one of these, and how it affects the future of G.I. Joe Classified, coming up. So, beneath the level of Ross, TJ Maxx, Ollie's, and all of those, Marshalls, and those kinds of stores, is a bargain store. Now, there was a bargain store called Bargain Depot. Generally, what they usually get is damaged merchandise. These stores usually gain damaged merchandise for a low price. In fact, I'm scared to death to buy food from the bargain stores. They are sub discounters and they are lower than discounters, which is why you get the best price. Now, in the 90s, in the early 2000s, we went to a Bargain Depot around these parts of the country, but I guess they pop up and they are very close to themselves. They're geographically located. Nowadays, if you live in Texas and some parts of Oklahoma, you can get a dirt cheap. And it's very similar to what these people are citing the bargain hunts. So I think they're the same thing. They're the same level. They're the sub Big Lots, sub Ross, sub TJ Maxx, sub Ollie's. I don't think their food is very fresh. But I don't care if my toys are fresh. They can be stale. I like stale toys. I buy toys that are 40 years old. So if you live in this part of the country, you see all the red pinpoints. That's where locations of this bargain hunt exist, theoretically, according to a search. So looking at this is interesting. I didn't even know this place exists, and there's 30 or 40 locations. If you live in any of these states, this area, you might want to look it up and try to hit a bargain hunt while they still have these. One way these things function is they're here now, gone tomorrow, and may never get any in again. So what exactly are we seeing in these bargain hunts? Well, we're seeing people reporting $14 Firefly figures, $14 Beachheads, and maybe even more than that. But these are G.I. Joe classified Cobra Island figures, Target exclusive. Somehow they are hitting these discounters. Now, I have a theory on why it's going on. So G.I. Joe June was a solid to collectors. But I really think that they had more figures on the way that could not get over here fast enough to fill the orders. They wanted to, they planned to, intended to, all good plans, but did not deliver 100%. They delivered about 50 or 60 or 70%. So this is maybe that 30% that finally showed up they intended to have in June, and it really does make sense with the backed up shipping log that we have right now, that they're showing up now instead of back in June. So a lot of the stuff ordered in June shipped immediately and then went out of stock. I think they only put up the stuff they had in stock and not so much pre-orders, or if they had pre-orders, they knew they were in the States and they would have a few days to a week till they could ship it out. Since all the buzz is the new figures coming, and they are great. They are amazing, and this is really going to invigorate the brand, or reinvigorate the brand. They are not looking backwards anymore. They want to just get rid of the old stuff, move to the new stuff, because they could have potentially clogged up retail. This is a smart move by Target and Hasbro to dump the excess figures that came late and move into the newer figures that are coming. And hopefully the new figures that are coming aren't going to wait till July or August. Maybe they come way sooner and exceed our expectations. But the fact we don't have retail clogged with all of them, on top of the fact that we already have that one wave with Lady J and Flint clogging up retail. We don't need more clogs. We need the new stuff to show up. So what does that mean for these people that have spent $150 on a Beachhead? Now, Beachhead was selling for that a year ago. Exactly a year ago right now, people are paying over $150 for a Beachhead, and it got crazier. I didn't really pay attention, but some people said they had to pay over $200 for a Beachhead. I never saw that, but I heard that. Now, looking at this, you could get it for $14. And then a Black Friday sale that just happened over the weekend, anything that was in stock at these places went to $7. Theoretically, I never saw a receipt, so I don't know for sure, but that's the rumor on the street. Still, $14 for what's now a $23 price point is still a very, very good $9 discount on what is still relatively sought after. Beachhead is not in everyone's collection, and these people are so lucky to walk into 6, 8, 10, 12, 30 cases of this one figure. Amazing. So one of the questions is, how does this really affect the future of collecting? And I think this is a precursor to all of 2022. All of 2022 is going to be following the same model. We have a massive drought, a massive shortage, people paying ridiculous amounts of money to scalpers online to buy these figures, and then months later, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months later, they show up to retail, not just to be on the shelf for a normal price. They show up at discounted prices. So we're starting to see a new trend when it comes to Hasbro, and it's this Marvel Legends with the Shang-Chi and the Eternals. They show up, and some of them go straight to clearance, and it doesn't make any sense. Now, the movie, I don't even know if the Eternals movie's out yet, but Shang-Chi just came out. But I bought Shang-Chi figures on clearance months before Shang-Chi even came out, and now these are showing up, and I don't even know, should I pick them up for my son because he kind of wants them? Will he want them in the future? Will the movie come out, or will he watch the movie whenever he watches it and start to want to buy these retroactively and them not be available? Lots of issues, lots of questions, and this is a big problem with what's going on with shipping and Hasbro's business model, because they want what's new and hot on the shelf right now and get rid of everything else because there's more coming. But will G.I. Joe Classified suffer the same fate as Marvel Legends? So I want to get back around to the main discount retailers, the Big Lots, the TJ Maxx, the Ross, the Ollie's, the Marshalls, and all of those. And with that, will they get some G.I. Joe Classifieds? Well, I still think they will. Maybe not now, but in the future. And it doesn't surprise me. They get a little bit of everything. And sometimes they get some Marvel Legends. Sometimes they get a few Black Series. They just recently had some Star Wars Black Series at Ross. So Ross, for whatever reason, seems to get one figure, one character, and they get a lot of it. And it's over and over and over. There was one point in time where it was Captain Rex for $4, and then they had another character and another character. Most recently, it's the Knights of Ren for $9. And this is actually a troop builder. If you think about it, you might want like 6 Knights of Ren to go with your Kylo Ren. If you're into the new movies, if you're not into that, maybe you don't care. But it's still way cheaper than $20. And definitely way cheaper than the new price point that Hasbro put on Black Series for $23. So if these are still showing up at Ross, I could believe that we're going to see more stuff showing up for G.I. Joe Classified that is still trying to work its way out of the retail system. And one way to do it is through these retailers: Ross, Ollie's, Big Lots, Marshalls, those kinds of things. And then it brings a question to what's the chances of any of the new product showing up at these retail discounters. And there's a small chance that some will show up at retailers down the road. A lot of the stuff is going to be in damaged packaging, damaged product, and I gotta admit this, figure swaps. Now, I don't want to say G.I. Joe Classified collectors are going to be unscrupulous and do figure swaps, but it happens in every toy line, and the figure swaps are what I see the most at Dirt Cheap, and what I see at some of these discount retailers, the figure swaps, these unscrupulous, scumbags that swap figures, return them because they can't afford to collect their own hobby. Anyhow, those are the kinds of things I see coming up. But if one figure or one character is a laggard and they lag behind the rest of them, I see 30, 40 new characters being announced between now and a year from now. And so they want to get rid of the laggards as fast as they can so they can bring in the new figures. And that's where Ross, Ollie's, and all them, the discounters, the bargain hunts, come in. I don't think the figures on the shelf are really laggards, but somehow they made it there. So I really want to know what you think about bargain stores getting classifieds for 14 bucks. Not just classifieds, Cobra Island classifieds for 14 bucks. What do you think about them getting discounted to half price over the weekend? What do you think? Do you have any near you? Have you ever been to one of these stores that I've never heard of until this weekend? And have you bought any of these? Are you one of those people that bought 20 of them and are doing the Fambro homie hookup for 20 bucks? You made a profit. That's not a big deal. I want to know more about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. And of course, Tundra Hanger out.